So, good evening, you beautiful people. Or if you are watching on the replay or you are listening on the Ats on This TV audio experience, it means the world. Thank you so much for coming back and hanging out with me. If you're here live, it's just gone 9 o'clock on a Monday night, Monday the 31st of October, All Hallows Eve. It's Halloween. I tell you what, there's nothing to be afraid of here. Nothing spooky going on unless you miss it. If you miss this broadcast, be afraid because it just might damage your acting career. If you're on this broadcast, it just might try to think of a Halloween related related pun. What happens at Halloween? I don't know. It might fly. Your career might fly on a broomstick or something. I don't know. That's terrible. Literally just the worst. Right. Good evening, folks. Anyway, thank you for being here. Josh has just beat me to it in the comments here on Facebook. I was about to say, it's a brand new week. The world's a little bit crazy at the moment, and I'm seeing so much negativity around. Twitter is an echo chamber of negativity, and it's not even because normally I'm like, well, stop following negative people then. I don't follow anyone negative. It's like everybody right now is hell-bent on focusing on everything that's wrong in the world as opposed to focusing on what is right in the world. And I know, although right now it's probably a really challenging time, myself included, for all of us, but focusing on what's going wrong is just ultimately never going to lead to anything good. So what I wanted to just talk about to begin with on tonight's broadcast, I just wanted to post some positive news in the comments if you're here live. And let me read it out to everyone here who's live. And let me read it out to all the people who are listening on the replay. That might just actually sort of like just G them up a little bit and just make them realise that, you know, the world isn't a bad place. No matter what's going on right now, I know it sounds crazy, but it's still never been better. There's no other generation of human beings ever who have had it better than us. The fact that you are here now, or you're watching or listening on the replay on an electronic device connected to the internet, able to stream this stuff, that gives you unlimited opportunity in the world right now. Literally from the power of your phone, your laptop, your iPad, whatever you're watching on, you really can achieve incredible things. But like, people just want to dwell. People just want to dwell and try and, you know, drive their life forward while looking in the rearview mirror. It's pointless. We've got to focus more on positivity. And Joshy, you beat me to it, mate. You posted this before I even asked for that. You said, just wanted to share some positive news, so let me share it with everyone. You said, I believe everything happens for a reason, and great things take time. I've landed an exciting self-tape audition today for a major soap with a multi-episode opportunity, taped, edited, and returned within 12 hours. Josh, you're just a legend, mate. Like, congrats, man. I'm really excited for you. I know you're part of First TV Role Fast Track as well, which is a program that I run for actors, helping them like bag their first TV role in as quick a time as possible. And mate, some things do take time, like persistence, consistency. Too many actors focus on the outcome of what they want all the time. They're focused. They set these goals and they focus on outcome. And that's literally what they fixate on, you know. It's like a football team trying to win a football match by staring at the scoreboard. You don't win a football match by staring at the scoreboard, i.e. focusing on the outcome. You win a football match by kicking the ball into the back of the net. You as actors, myself as an actor, every single day, we've got to kick the ball a little bit further down the pitch to eventually take a shot and bang it in at that top left-hand corner or top right-hand corner or wherever, you know, wherever you fancy, just smashing it into that net. And sometimes that takes time to get from one end of a football pitch to the other. To take a shot takes a while. But when you get that shot, like you've done today, Josh, you know, you've made the most of it, mate. Everything crossed for you, dude. That's fantastic. And just remember, guys, stuff is being cast literally all the time. Castings will be going on today. If I've seen a lot of actors, and I get it because, like I said, everyone's focusing on the negative right now. I'm seeing so many people. It makes me sad, genuinely sad. I'm seeing a lot of people, more than ever, right? I've been running this community for 12 years. I'm seeing more people at once quit, drop out of the game, at least for this year. Lots of people are telling me, oh, that's it for 2022, forget it. We're on the eve of November now, 31st of October. You have got 8 weeks to really, well, at least 7 weeks to really make an impact, really make a difference, to win in the fourth quarter. I'm seeing weak people. It's not their fault. They've just not developed the tenacity. They've not focused on like the one thing that I think just like lets so many actors down: their mindset, their mental toughness, and they're just dropping like flies. They go, nah, forget it. It's like you are folding like a cheap chair. Like, come on. Like, we need to keep pushing forward. I get really passionate about this. I'm not dissing anybody, but I'm seeing wasted talent. I'm seeing people who I know can succeed drop out of the race now. And they're like, oh, I'll do it in 2023. And I'm like, no, because you and another 25,000 actors in January are going to be trying to do it in 2023. Use this next 7 weeks where all your competition, all of the weak willed people are dropping out, and they're and the thing is as well that annoys me is, and it only annoys me for them. I sound salty tonight. The thing is not only have they got talent, but they've got the resources to make a difference. They've got the resources in their life, the time, the money, and I know finances are strapped right now, but I'm still seeing people dropping out of stuff this week, not going to things, cancelling workshops, not applying for things, not attending things, not, just basically not applying themselves. And yet in the same instance, I'm seeing them posting photos of themselves at parties dressed up in Halloween costumes that probably cost 30, 40, 50 quid, drinking. I'm like, that is not winning. That's not how you win. That's running away from your life when you could invest that. I'm not saying don't have a nice time. We all want a nice time. But don't complain about how it is and then just run away from your life on the other hand because, I don't know, you're playing the victim or something. So we've got to push forward. We've got 7 weeks to do it. Give me some more happy good news on Facebook now. I'm going to read it out. Before we dive into tonight, by the way, I've got loads of stuff planned to talk about tonight. Joanne, thank you so much for being here. It says, finally here. Saw the notification. I'm actually not in work, so I'm here. Nice one, Joe. Stay with us till 10 o'clock. It's really amazing to have you. Evening, Terry. I hope you are good. Terry got called. Found out that I've been recalled for a project, which is great. That's good news. Joe, good evening. Hope you are good. My first ever self-tape that's Joshua, yeah, for with a multi-episode opportunity. Josh, you did it, man. You said thanks to me, but it's not as thanks to you, dude, because you kicked that ball. Like I said, it's all about action, and it's about output. That's the thing that I want to stress. That outcome-based goal setting that I spoke about before. I'll go very deep in this in Bulletproof Factor, this program that I'm running at the end of November. If you want to find out about that, by the way, bulletproofactor.com. We've got 100 actors so far signed up for it. We're capping at 120 places, by the way. There's 20 places left. That's bulletproofactor.com. A full weekend and then a 30-day follow-up on high-performance mindset and positive psychology. One thing we are hammering home on that program is focus on your output over outcome, okay? I believe, and let me know what you think if you're here live as well. And if you're watching the replay of this or listening to the replay, please tweet me, right? What do you think would happen if you set a goal, right? And that just use that to set the direction that you're heading in. Say you're like, listen, right, I want to land, like Joshy there, I want to land my first ever multi-episodic, TV role on one of the UK's serial dramas. Maybe you're based in the north, so you're going to target Coronation Street first, Hollyoaks, Emmerdale. Once you've set that goal and that's the direction you're sailing in, what would happen if you completely forgot about the outcome? Just literally forget about it. You know where you're heading, you're in the right direction, like you've set sail. What would happen if you purely focused on the action you took to get that, and then the identity of who you need to become as a person to continue with the output, with that action? So like your identity, a lot of people identify as actors only when they are acting. They feel almost embarrassed to say they're an actor to people because they're afraid of the follow-up question, which is, so what have you been in then? And you go, oh, shit. So they replace I'm an actor with I'm trying to be an actor. I'm an aspiring actor. I hope to be an actor or whatever. Because they're identifying as with what an actor is completely wrong. For me, an actor is creative, is tenacious, is not a quitter, will go that extra mile. So if you inhabit those attributes as an actor and a person, this is what I do. I do not quit. I go that extra mile. I am proactive. I am productive, as opposed to I'm only an actor when I'm on TV. And you just focused on reinforcing that identity with positive action. You send your 3 emails, every few days to casting directors you've not met before. You shoot new material. You practice your self-tapes, You read scripts. You are creative. You create your own work. You distribute your own stuff. If you just focused on that and not the outcome, do you think you could have more success than you're having right now? Because I know so many people could, but they're focusing on the outcome all the time. They're getting demotivated because they've not got that outcome yet, and they stop kicking the ball. Like, it's just really, really interesting. So, you've clearly done that, Josh. You've just been kicking it around, for months and months and months now, and you've finally got a shot. You've taken your shot today, and whether you score or not, you still took a shot at goal, mate. It's still a really, really positive, positive step for you, man. I really hope that, that comes off for you. Let's have a look. Sarah said, great to hear from Petch on Saturday. Yeah, we did a mindset training. Actually, let me just talk to you about this. If you want to go and watch it, I was supposed to take this down tonight, but I'll leave it up for a few days, I think, to be honest, just because I know not everybody got a chance to watch this. If I go over to bulletproofactor.com /replay, you can watch this 2-hour training that I did with myself, Petch, and high performance mindset coach Mr. Matt Hall on Saturday, talking about cultivating true confidence to win. We basically give away strategies and walk people through strategies to really enhance your self-confidence, crush anxiety, really pummel procrastination, start taking action. Like I said, we've got 7 weeks to make a difference now between now and Christmas. Go and watch this if you need a kick up the backside. Bulletproofactor.com/replay. If you're watching or listening on the replay, I don't know how long this is going to be online for, but just go over to bulletproofactor.com/replay. See if it's still there. It's 2 hours of like practical, actionable content, and then we talk people through getting involved in the main Unstoppable Confidence Infinite Success version 2 program that we've done, which is a full weekend event across the 26th and 27th of November. Really going deep on positive psychology, high performance mindset, but real practical action orientated, goal setting frameworks, procrastination, overcoming procrastination frameworks, stuff that's really gonna help you continue to take that continuous action that's required, to get the results that you want. So check that out as well. But yeah, we were saying on that training, Sarah, that so many actors use age as a limiting belief. They believe that, it's too late for me, I should have started earlier. So many actors my age have been in the industry longer than me, blah, 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 blah. Not realizing that with age comes so much experience, so much emotional richness. Like, you're unlocking emotions that younger people just will not have access to. And so many casting directors speak to me on all of the Acts on This.tv webinars that we do. And we had Jill Trevellick on last week. She was saying the same thing. Jill Trevellick is the Downton Abbey casting director. I'll play a little video out from her in a minute. And she was, backing up the same stuff, going, listen, like the older age groups, the further up the age categories you go as a casting director, the fewer actors you have to choose from. Particularly women over 50 and 60 years old, because most people think if they are in that category and they're over 30 and they've not made it yet, it's done. I'm done. I'm out, And it's such a limiting belief that will just stop you taking that action, that continuous action. Shiv, how you doing, mate? What we said here, I'm invited to attend the film premiere at World Cup Heist in London next Tuesday evening. Not from my agent, but from my industry contacts. Nice. Got to make those contacts, Shiv. Get yourself to all the glitzy, glamorous events, mate. Definitely. But yeah, good work, mate. Enjoy that, definitely. Joe's sending. She's got 2 mega emails to send tomorrow. Her goal, that's a great goal as well. Literally right now, Joe, that's like a micro goal, isn't it? To send stuff out and then get a response. Get a reply. You don't have to focus on the outcome of what that reply could lead to, but an acknowledgement is really nice. At times as well. So good luck with that. But yeah, any other positive news? Put it in the comments for me. I would love to know. Just sort of like what's going on in your life and in your career. Just like, we should share and celebrate good things that are going down in all of our lives. Like, not just focus on, Joe's had an opportunity, Josh had an opportunity, that's one less for me. No, it's not. There's an abundance of opportunities out there. Like, we've got to support each other in getting them. April, how are you doing? Says, loving listening to this as a lady in her 70s. Yes, April. Honest to God, like, seriously, good for you. And there are so few actresses in your category. There just are, from an age demographic. They're just, the industry really needs people to stay in the game. You need people to drop out of the game, because then there's less competition for you, April. So stick at it, honestly, stick at it. And like I say, when you're becoming a better human being, you're becoming an older person, you're experiencing more in life. Getting older is such a privilege. And yet so many people wear it as like a badge of embarrassment almost. Like, they don't want to celebrate milestone birthdays. I can't believe I'm 50. I was 40 last month, and I was like, I've made it. Yes, 50, I hope I feel the same, 60, 70. My whole goal in life, forget acting, genuinely, this is really true, my entire life, my major goal is to live to 100. I don't know, I can't necessarily control the outcome, but I can control the controllables that will give me the best opportunity health-wise to get there. But it's a big goal for me, and I value that more than any acting role. What's better than staying on this earth? To experience it, it's the good and the bad, but you can implement all of the good and the bad in your acting career as an actor. That's another beautiful thing about our careers and our industry is like, you know what, yeah, we're all going to go through shit times. Life's going to punch us in the face. Multiple times life has hit me hard in the face and knocked me down, where I haven't really wanted to get back up on occasion. But you know what, you can use that experience in your work. As an actor, there's not many jobs around where you can say that. You know, you can't really say that if you're a plumber necessarily. Oh, I had a really terrible time. That's going to help me plumb the U-bend. Nah. But as an actor, well, actually, I've experienced real loss here, or heartbreak, or devastation. But actually, you know what? I'm about to play this part or go for this audition where that's really necessary for the role, and I can bring it through emotional recall because I've been through it. So although I wouldn't have wanted to go for it if I didn't have to, I'm grateful that I have, and I'll come out the other side. All about how you frame the experiences you're going through. And it's really easy to say when you're not going through something shit. So, you know, I really understand that because I've experienced that myself, where I'm like, yeah, well, that's easy. Like, it's easy to be positive when everything's going well, but it's really hard when it's not. But that really is the time you need to dig deep, build that resilience, build that tenacity. So anyway, I've got a little rant there. Just want people to just keep focusing, keep moving forward for the rest of this year. It is not too late to turn 2022 around if you put the work in. It really isn't. Get clear on exactly what it is that you want. Okay, literally do a brain dump right now after this, or if you watch on the replay, dump out almost to-do list style the things that you would want to achieve by the end of this year. You know, we've got to be, you know, sort of like realistic within that time frame as well. A lot of people overestimate what they can do in a year. They very much underestimate what they can achieve in a decade, though. That's absolutely massive. You know, so we've got to go, right, what if I could achieve one thing by the end of the year? What's that one thing that would make everything else almost unnecessary or easier at least? Dump it all down, and we're going to prioritize those things, and then it just becomes a matter of scheduling those things in, you know, to your life to get them done. It is not too late. I was just saying before last week, if you don't know what actonthis.tv is, by the way, if you've literally just stumbled across this this broadcast, I run a website for TV actors, the largest online community for TV actors in the world, called actonthis.tv. Every single week we sit down with the biggest casting directors, agents, actors, writers, producers, directors, the best people basically, to chat and talk about the acting industry, really the realities of moving your career further, faster, from the very people who literally run the industry. So last week we had Downton Abbey casting director on, Jill Trevellick, who's just one of the nicest casting directors you will ever meet in the industry. She's absolutely wonderful. Big supporter of actonthis.tv. This is the third time that she's been on. And she was talking really about auditioning for top TV drama. Jill doesn't just do Downton, she does some massive stuff, things like Sanditon. She's just cast Stonehouse, a brand new ITV drama that's out later this year. You know, she does the Lazarus Project, some really big stuff. And I'm just going to play you now, just literally 2 minutes of what you missed on that. If you went on that call, then if you get a membership, actonthis.tv, or go get a free trial, well, a £1 trial, might as well be free, actonthis.tv/trial, kick the tires of the site for 7 days, you'll get access to everything. You know, just you'll get instant access to this. So let me just play you. Here it is. It's going to play you 2 minutes of Jill talking about her casting process, basically. Information you just won't get anywhere else. I'm so happy to have her back. Her credits include The Mighty Downton Abbey, Save Me, The Lazarus Project, Hillsborough Drama, Anne, and upcoming ITV Keeley Hawes and Matthew McFadden drama Stonehouse. It's casting director Jill Trevellick in the house. Edited highlights. It's probably quite hard, but 3 or 4 minutes on who Jill Trevellick is, basically.
I've been a casting director for a long time. It's probably about 25 years.
I think you've got nearly 100 like quality, really big credits on IMDb, Jill. Like you've cast some absolutely massive stuff.
I think without things like Downton Abbey, you probably wouldn't have necessarily had the crown.
I don't even know the answer to this question. Who you work with in terms of associates and assistants? Do you work regularly with the same people, or how does how does that work? Could you take us through like step by step, like what you actually do to, from getting a script to actually bringing people in the room or getting them to tape?
I put in what I thought were, you know, the kind of parameters and spotlight, and up came 17,000 suggestions.
If you were an actor right now, knowing Jill Trevellick really well, how would you get on your casting radar?
The actors on Spotlight who don't have a professional show reel, what footage should they really be doing there?
You just got to find something that suits you, or write something, or find a piece that you know is useful really, and appropriate, and you think would engage people, and is short.
We're often told that it's useful for us to know what our sort of main casting types might be.
Just try out a few different scenarios, different roles, and then, you know, have a look, see what you think, maybe get people you trust to watch, and just try and put together a showreel which you think is as diverse as possible, I would suggest. I've sometimes met actors or seen them in something and thought about them 3 years later and brought them in for a role. Every performance you give that's good, every meeting you go to, every audition you go to, it's all kind of, you know, money in the bank, as it were, really.
Boom, atsonthis.tv, get your membership. You can unlock the full chat with Jill. It's about 90 minutes. Just, again, a real, like, just deep dive into the casting process when it comes to real top draw, top end TV drama. And I love what Jill said at the end there about, like, you know, every single performance you put in. Again, let's stop focusing on the outcome. Every audition you get, you know, every agent you sign with, even if you leave or they drop you, whatever, like every single interaction in this industry, regardless of the outcome, you know, is a positive step in terms of giving you experience, you know, just helping you move forward. Jill will see somebody and then 3 years later might call them in. An agent might say no to you today, but then 12 months later down the line, you get in touch with them again. They've seen more of your work. They want to sign you. Again, it's about focusing on your output, not the outcome, because it's the only thing you can freaking control. It really, really is. But if you want to get access to the full session with Jill there, atsonthis.tv, get your membership. You'll also find, oh God, now another 400 hours worth of sessions in the members area with the biggest names, some in the world, like literally Oscar winners, BAFTA winners, the biggest casting directors, writers, producers. Get involved. It's an education that there's just literally nothing else out there that will give you it. I wish I had it at drama school, because I didn't. That's why I set it up 12 years ago, and it's still surprising me to this day that drama schools still don't teach the business side of this business, which is why you will see in 2023 something called Ats on This University. I've not told anyone about it yet, but it's very exciting. I'm literally hooking up with drama schools to teach, you know, to teach this sort of stuff. So it's really interesting. What I said before about mindset, critical to your career. Talent, obviously, you know, goes without saying. You've got to be good. But if you don't understand the way the business works, the business of this business, you will literally just spend years lost. Sandra, good evening. How are you doing? Hope you are well. Sandra says, I'm with Rossi. Get your membership no matter where you are on the planet. It's just pure motivation to go for your dreams. Thank you, Sandra. Appreciate that. I hope you're really, really good. Right, so I've got one more clip of Jill to play out. Then I want to give you a little teaser on what's coming up for members of atsonthis.tv this week, because I've got an incredible actress coming on atsonthis.tv this week for our member-only session. Love her to bits. I've just literally been speaking to her on Zoom now. She's got a new book out. I'm going to be giving away signed copies of it on the night, so you're not going to want to miss that. But there's just one other clip I want to play from Jill's session. I just want to give you for free, give you a little bit of value. Obviously, you can go and watch the full session if you get your membership. Let me know if you've had one yet, because it's taken forever for me, but I had my first in the room casting since before the pandemic last, when was it, Wednesday, I think. Everything I have auditioned for, I've had some really good auditions this year. I haven't booked a single job. I'm like, what's going on? I've booked loads of voiceover, thankfully. I've had loads of good self-tapes, but, you know, this has been a year where I've really had to remind myself that every no is one step closer to a yes. And I had a great in-the-room casting last week for a new film, actually, that'd be really cool to get involved in. So with the director that I did a TV job with late last year. So that was quite nice to get back in the room with someone who already knew. It wasn't quite as nerve-wracking. But it was really interesting, to actually get back in an audition room live. Well, I mean, it's live and it's still on Zoom and stuff, but it's not quite the same as being there. And it was really nice to actually be able to, you know, really try and win the room. I always say this, like, win the room, not the job. Like, obviously, you want to be prepared. You want to do the best work you can do in the room. But I always think it's far more beneficial for any actor to just simply set the intention before they walk into that audition room to just leave people better than you found them. As simple as that. Can you charge the room up? Can you leave those people in there better than you found them? Because if that's the case, they're going to want to be around you. They're going to want to ask you back. Even if you're not right for that role and you don't get it, again, like Jill said there, no interaction is ever wasted. So I selfishly asked Jill, because the night before this audition was when we had Jill on. I asked her, like, listen, you know, what advice would you have, you know, for somebody getting back in the room after so long? And I think it's just good advice for everybody around preparation and not over preparing and stuff like that. But let me know if you've had, or like when you had it, like maybe you've recently had an in the room, you know, casting, and you know, it was an experience again, getting back in the room. Something we all used to do and find it really normal, and cell tapes were quite strange, and now cell tapes are so normal, and being back in the room is quite strange. Sandra said, I had one non-commercial audition this year, and that wasn't even from Germany, but from the UK. No way, nice. Excellent work. And Kate, what have you said here? I missed your mindset Saturday morning because I had an in-the-room audition. Kate, have you seen the replay? I put the replay up, and it's technically coming down tonight, but I'm going to leave it up a couple more days for people. Bulletproofactor.com/replay, Kate. Bulletproofactor.com/replay. Go check that out. But let me just play you this little clip from Jill. I hope you like it. As I say, it was a selfish ask from me because I wanted some advice. Any advice, and just in general, for people going back in the room for the first time when they've not been there for a couple of years?
I think one mistake, actually, that a lot of very new actors make, and I see this when I go into drama school sometimes, is that they know the piece so well, and sometimes it's something that they've done for a showcase or whatever, that they forget to listen, actually.
Yeah.
You know, and so being able to listen is so important. What you don't want to do is be a zombie, and the other thing you don't want to be doing is doing something which is you wouldn't do in real life, which is to be acting listening.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think you've just got to try and be in the moment, haven't you, really? I think it's important to remember, particularly when you're at the beginning of a casting process on a new project, that everybody's trying to work it out, really, at that point. And also, you know, sometimes if you're casting the main roles, you will see quite a few people, and you will hear the same scenes over and over again, and it can become a bit repetitive. So to have people who come in and really genuinely enthuse about the project is really kind of quite a boost for everybody involved. You know?
I think that's the one thing that I love about being in the room, is it's sort of like, you know, you can put in a good performance, but I think just actually the rapport you can build with people and winning the people. Someone said to me once, you know, when you're going into an audition, your aim should be to win the room, not the job. And I think that's quite, you know, it doesn't mean you're overbearing and jazz hands and all that sort of stuff, but I just think going in with an intention to leave people better than you found them always works well for me. Once again, @onthis.tv if you want to get access to the full chat there with Jill. 90 minutes on how she casts not just Downton Abbey and all the other incredible shows, you know, that she's cast in the past, but how she's casting right now, literally in a 2022-2023 environment. Now stuff is happening back in the room. But yeah, I just think, you know, what she said there, when you're in the room, you know, make sure, you know, I guess you're listening both before, but particularly during your casting. I think I see a lot of people, just like she said there, they over-prepare the scenes and they're just waiting for cues, and they're not really listening to the other person because they've not really, well, they've over-prepared, but they've not really, I don't know, they've just focused on ultimately learning the lines as opposed to, you know, listening to a cue, as opposed to really listening to the other person that they're acting opposite. And very often in the room, that's pretty difficult though, because you're not going to be reading opposite another actor a lot of the times. You will be reading opposite a casting director or a casting assistant or associate who isn't an actor and won't give a full-blown performance. They'll read the lines, but, you know, you've got to do your best, you know, in that imaginary circumstance to really at least try and hear the lines, you know, for the first time, even though, you know, you've prepared, and they're probably not even being delivered in a completely compelling manner. But I see a lot of actors almost glaze over, you know, just thinking of what their next line is or whatever. They're not truly listening or in the moment. And what, again, we mentioned there, just about winning the room, just building rapport. Like she said, when you're at the start of a project and you're hearing the same scene, maybe read by 20 actors in a day, and it's the same scene over and over and over and over. The actors who come in, who really charge the room up and are super actually enthused to be there. Like I say, not overbearing and weird, you know, you're not going in and dancing around the room and making sure I've got to shake everybody's hand, and you don't want to be one of them people. But not there's anything wrong with shaking hands, by the way, but sometimes people can be a little bit overbearing. But yeah, just sort of like, you know, charging the room up, leaving people better than you found them. Really good sort of intention to set before you walk into the room. Let's have a look. What's going down on Facebook? Keep putting your good news in the chat if you're here live on Facebook. By the way, folks, I want to spread some more positivity of good things that are happening in the world, as opposed to the bad. Alex, that's a good spin as well. You put before, mate. I missed that. I've just seen it here. You said you're using. So you got dropped by your agent, man. Sorry about that. Petch also. The Act on This community manager, he also got dropped by his agent last week, I think, or the week before. A lot of it's kind of happening now, and I get it because agents are also going to be, feeling the pressure of the current environment, and others, people just, will buckle under that, and they'll be like, right, okay, they might just not have the resolve to work hard enough, for their client who maybe they're struggling to get seen or whatever, and they're just like, right, they're just human. You got to remember, just because someone is an agent, is a casting director, they're just as fallible as all of us for buckling under pressure and just not being able to do it. So they will unload their workload, I guess, basically by going, right, okay, I can't handle managing 90 actors. I'm gonna call 20. And, whatever their decisions are for choosing those 20, I don't know. But you've got to use it, like you said there, Alex, as fuel for finding an agent, that's going to, hold on to you. It's going to fight for you, And then without getting bitter about it, you've got to, what I like to do is almost, there's nothing wrong with having a positive chip on your shoulder, right? It's not a bitter thing. You're not slating the old agent or anything like that. It's a business decision. That's all it is. That's literally all it is. There's no sentiment in it or anything like that. It can all be amicable when, people part ways, etc. But and I do this. I love sort of being the underdog or being underestimated. I'm like, oh, okay, right. If someone let me go, I'd be like, you really underestimated what I could achieve. So the best revenge, it's not revenge, like I don't want to use that word really, but the best revenge is taking your life and your career to a place where you no longer need it. I don't need revenge, because actually I'm just going to show you how well I live and how much work I can get and how it was a mistake for you to drop me. So use that as a positive chip on your shoulder almost. Think of all the people in the world who have been denied and rejected and rejected and rejected again and again and again. Really, really famous people who have written the biggest books in the world, the biggest scripts, the biggest albums, some of the best performers across all genres on earth. They've all been told no, or they've been dropped. The best sports stars have been culled from their school teams or whatever, and they've just gone out and literally changed the world with their talents. Be that person. Like, I love nothing more than being underestimated, if I'm honest with you. Sounds a bit mental, but almost sort of like when people begin to expect good things from you, then it's almost sort of more pressure and harder to do that thing. Whereas when no one expects anything from you, it's very easy to just drop a bomb. Boom, check that out. You weren't expecting that from me, were you? So use it, Alex. You've got the right sort of paradigm, the way you're looking at that. You've made a shift to go, okay, how can I use this to fuel my career, not sort of detract from my motivation and my energy, etc. And you've put there as well, 20 agents emailed already. Definitely. So top work, man. Exactly. You've got to prove people. I don't know. I think there's something, and there's something quite noble as well about an agent who might, you go and prove them wrong that they shouldn't have dropped you. If that was me, I was an agent and I dropped a client, right? And then they proved to me, wow, they went on to do incredible things. I'd absolutely be noble enough to go over and shake their hand and go, wow, like, well done. Like, I clearly underestimated you. Like, I'm really happy for you. I don't mind being proved wrong, like, at all. Kanke, how you doing? You said last month didn't get any sales tapes, but 2 weeks in, rather than sit and wait, booked and spent money on shooting a tape. I'll use this for November, December push. Also took to Twitter and Instagram to get follows from Acts on This. Past guests, finding the wins. Yeah, honestly, every guest we get on Acts on This, Kanke, make sure you go. That's why I always put their Twitter details at the end, their Instagram details at the end. You have to go and follow those people. Build rapport with them, drop them a tweet, thank them for spending that time, on that Acts on This mastermind, maybe pull something out that they said. Let me just show you something that really inspired me this week. There's a member of actsonthis.tv, if I go over to Twitter, called Evie Guttridge. Don't know if you know her. She puts out a lot of content on Twitter, sketches of these school sketches that she does that are dead funny, like playing up in class, basically. They're all sort of like just self-tape style things, but Let me see if I can find her. Here we go. So her handle is Evie_G52. I saw. So these are the school sketches she puts out. She's been putting them out for a long time. Some of them are getting really good traction. That's got 15,700 views, right? It's a pinned tweet. Evie just puts stuff out, okay? She's not famous. No one knows who she is. She just puts stuff out, keeps putting out, hustle, focusing on the output, not the outcome of her endeavors, okay? Look at this. We had Jason Mazur on. He's an incredible producer, great actor. He's produced some massive stuff, including things like Bulletproof for Sky One. He's been in a load of great shows himself. I don't know how this happened, but I'm guessing Evie reached out to Jason after the Acts on This webinar that we had with him recently. And look at him tweeting there. Had a fun day filming some sketches with Evie. Evie's a pro, so as long as I haven't ruined them, they'll be coming your way in a couple of weeks. You know, she's hustling and then has collaborated now with a guy who's, you know, a real great producer, you know, and just a top bloke who just wants to see actors succeed and help other actors. So, yeah, you've got to you've got to follow these people on Twitter, Kankay. Follow them on Instagram. Build reports. The whole point I bring them on and I do webinars with them where they're on camera is to sort of really dive into their personality, dive into who they are. The savvy members of Acts on This, the ones who actually get it, are the ones who are using those sessions almost like they are an insight and a window into that guest world, and then they're giving themselves permission to, you know, climb through that window effectively and say, hey, not in a weird way, I'm here, you know, and they take something from those sessions that resonates with them, they expand on it, and they just build rapport gradually, you know, with these guests. It's pretty much how I've built my own career. People always say it's not what you know, it's who you know. It's certainly true, but it's who knows you as well. You know, it's very different, you know, to who you know. You know, you can say, oh, yeah, I know Jason Mazur, but if you walk down the street, will he recognize you and stop? You know, does he know you? That's the difference. It's subtle, but it's a big difference. Who you know is important, but who knows you is even more important. So good on you, Kankay. And that's, you know, that's action. That's what I was talking about before. We've got 7 weeks left to make something happen in our careers. You know, definitely there's lots of time left to get shit done, so let's keep going. Right, I want to give you guys some insight into what's going on for members of actsonthis.tv this week, and if you're not a member, just come and get involved. Honestly, stop like wasting money on other nonsense that's doing nothing for your career. A membership to Acts on This will cost you £6 a week. Minimum wage right now is like, what? I don't know, 11 quid. I'm asking you to basically invest 30 minutes of your time, even if you've not got a lot of money, 30 minutes of your time will basically get you a membership to Acts on This. And yet I'm seeing people just quit, give up, not want to get involved. I'm like, you are mugging yourself off and you're allowing other actors to get access to this information. So you're wrecking your career basically by not getting involved because other people are having such an advantage. This Thursday night, we've had to change it from Tuesday to Thursday, but this Thursday night, I will be joined by this legend here, Julie Hesmondhalgh, one of my favourite actresses in the UK. You'll know her most famously, and she looks different in real life, but you'll know her most famously for playing Hayley Cropper for 16 years in Coronation Street, an incredible character that just changed the landscape for so much in serial drama. Since Julie left, and that was 9 years ago now, she's gone on to land leading roles in huge shows, Happy Valley, Broadchurch, Doctor Who, to name just a few. And she's recently written a brand new book. This is her second book called An Actor's Alphabet. Ultimately, it's an A to Z of her experience since leaving Corrie, how the industry's changed, ultimately starting a career again in a way, because she was in such a stable job for 16 years in Coronation Street. You leave and you really have to sort of start again. So it's a great book. If you go over, if you want to just have a little preview of it, if you go to Nick Hearn Books, that's the publisher, just An Actor's Alphabet. I want as many people as possible to pre-order this book and just support Julie. She's such a ledge. She supports everybody else in the industry, and I'm just like, she never asks for anything either. I'm like, she's too humble. I'm like, I'll ask for you. I want everybody. It's $7.99 to pre-order the paperback of this book. You know, if you go to nickhearnbooks.co.uk, and there's signed copies available as well. I'm going to be buying 15 copies. I'm going to be giving 5 away on the night. when we have this on Thursday. I'll then give another 10 away on Twitter somehow over the next few weeks. But if you can, it'd mean the world to if you pre-ordered it. It says in this candid and empowering A to Z of being an actor, Julie Hesmanhouse draws on her decades of experience on stage and screen, including the massive popular television shows such as Broadchurch, Happy Valley, and Coronation Street, to lift the lid on the realities of life in today's industry and show you how to navigate it. She shares practical advice on preparing for roles, don't be afraid of looking like a dick, managing the ups and downs of your career, and how to be out of work without losing your mind, dealing with failure and success, not constantly comparing yourself to others, bloody hard but try, looking after your mental health, and the power of knowing when to say no. Passionate about the art, she makes a compelling case for their importance to society, but also calls out the industry on where it continues to fall short, including a clear-eyed assessment of what needs to change to make it safer and healthier, more accessible and inclusive. Written with refreshing honesty and self-deprecating humour, An Actor's Alphabet is a book for anyone who dreams of becoming an actor, wants to be a better one, or just wants to learn what being one is really like. So that's going to be Julie this Thursday night, 7:30 p.m. She's going to be joining us on Zoom for all members of actsonthis.tv. It's just going to be a wicked session. Let me know now if you're here live, if you're going to be there, or if you've seen Julie's work. Maybe you're a fan of Coronation Street and you watched her as Hayley Cropper for 16 years. Such an iconic character. Alex says you can't believe it's been 9 years since she left. Yeah, absolutely. 9 years. So, yeah, she's got an awful lot of experience to share with us. And she's just bloody lovely as well, and really candid, really honest, doesn't dress anything up at all. So that's happening this Thursday night. We've got BAFTA-winning casting director Aisha Bywaters on in a couple of weeks as well. We've got the director of Stephen Graham's Boiling Point, Phil Barantini, on. He's also just starred in and directed he was in The Responder, actually. He's just directed, he wasn't starring in this, he just directed a brand new medical drama called Malpractice, which is going to be massive. And he's also turned Boiling Point, the film, if you know Stephen Graham's Boiling Point, he's now turned the short film into a feature film, and now the feature film has been picked up for a 5-episode TV drama. So we're all going to be talking to Phil about that and how to get a job off him, basically. So Phil's on soon. Just incredible people, basically. Honestly, like I said before, networking, meeting people. It's not, you cannot just be a good actor. You will fail in this industry. So many people are clueless about how to actually move forward. And all of these sessions are designed to help you, in a practical way, meet people, build rapport, build networks, build your career just way faster, basically. Right, what else can we talk about? What else have I got here to chat about? I'm sure I had some other stuff on my list, but I can't remember. I've covered the mindset stuff. Yeah. Oh, let me know if you're gonna if you've enrolled on Bulletproof Factor. By the way, that was something that I wanted to talk about. I mentioned it briefly before, but yeah, this is a full weekend of positive psychology and high performance mindset that I am hosting along with high performance mindset coach and world record breaker Mr. Matt Hall on Saturday the 26th, Sunday the 27th of November. It's followed up by 30 days of coaching in a private Facebook group, a private WhatsApp group, and you will get full recordings of absolutely everything that goes down on this weekend. It's a massive program, basically. We're teaching across probably up to 20 hours, okay? I'm going to try and get it in between 10 and 6 every day, but we really want to over-deliver, so it might be 10 till 8 on both days, basically, but I just want to deliver the most powerful stuff to really end your 2022 on a high and bulletproof your psychology and mindset for your best year ever in 2023. But if you go to bulletproofactor.com, you can read all about it. You can read all about Matt, myself. You can see testimonials. There's Oscar winner Rachel Shenton. She did the course, the original course that I brought out in 2015. She didn't know she was going to go on to win an Oscar there, but she did because she got her head sorted out and really got on top of her mindset. So you can watch testimonials from people who've been through previous courses. There's over £520 worth of bonuses if you get a place on this program as well. It's just an incredible opportunity for people who actually really want to just nail their mindset once and for all, learn real science-backed, actionable, proven strategies to just basically start taking more action, stress less, work more, crush anxiety, be more productive, Stop feeling busy but like never getting anything done in your life. Let us know. There's 100 actors now. I'm well chuffed. 100 actors have bought a ticket for this event already, and we're going to cap it at about 120 because it's on Zoom. And it's live. We really want to deliver. It's all recorded though. If you can't be there for those 2 days, still get a ticket. You're going to get the recordings of everything, and then you will still get access to all the aftercare and all the coaching for the 30 days afterwards. And we finish the coaching. We've designed it properly. We finish the coaching purposely to end on Christmas Eve. So you will go into Christmas absolutely pumped, very clear on your 3 major goals that you want to achieve in 2023. Very clear on how you're going to get them, very clear on how you're going to break through the blocks around working a shit day job that you hate, having a poor relationship with money, being overwhelmed, being unmotivated. We're being very ambitious. We're covering an awful lot. It's going to be a long couple of days, but super, super powerful. And you will get the recordings forever, so you can go over them again and again and again. You go over the workbook again and again and again. You're going to have that course for life, basically. But yeah, let us know if you're going to get involved in that. Would love to see you there. And let's just do a little bit of Q&A. Got a bit of Q&A. We've got 10 minutes. If you want to just talk about anything I can help you with, anything you've got questions about in or out of your acting career, I don't know, anything at all. Let's just chew the fat for a few minutes, and we can finish our Monday night on a positive, on a high. Let's have a look. What's Sarah saying here? Find an actor whose work you love, then look at their agent. That's how I got mine. Yeah, absolutely. Reverse engineering agents, Alex, is really good, mate. Basically, what I would do, you've probably done it because you've sent stuff out to 20. But look at the kind of roles you would be seen for right now, the kind of work you want to do. Watch those shows, make a note of the actors in the roles that you genuinely believe you could play and they're of your level right now. Collate a list of agents who those actors are with, and they're the people who you want to be in touch with first. It's a great way to do it rather than carpet bombing the entire industry, because you don't know, you have no idea which agents have the connections that you could really utilize if you do it that way. So check that out, and yeah, anyone who's got access to, if you've got a yearly membership at actsonthis.tv, you get something called the Ultimate Contacts Database for free. That's updated very regularly, and you'll find that in your members area as well. That gives you the names and email addresses of every agent who's legit in TV in the country. Same for casting directors, casting assistants, and casting associates as well. It's taken us 90 hours to collate, so if you want to save yourself 90 hours work, get a yearly membership to actsonthis.tv. Not only will you save £60 a year on your membership, you'll get that for free. So that's always good if you just want to know, who to get in touch with. Let's have a look. Any questions? What else can we can I do for you guys? What else do you want to chat about? Anything in particular? Let me know for the last 10 minutes. And is anyone doing it? It's Halloween tonight. Like I said, anyone doing anything? Anyone at a Halloween party right now? Any costumes going down? Any pumpkin carving been happening? I never get involved in it at Halloween, but I feel like I should. I feel like I'm missing out. It's quite an American holiday, Halloween, isn't it? They go really to town in America. In the UK, we just sort of like walk around in the rain as kids, knocking on people's doors, begging, trick-or-treating, really. I remember, oh my God. We'd have such terrible costumes as kids. We'd like put a mask on and a hood up. Like we would not make enough effort. And we still do quite well trick-or-treating, but I want to see kids putting effort in if I'm going to give them some money or some sweets nowadays. Come on, I want to feel I'm getting value for money. Let's have a look. Alex says he's been working his way through Spotlight Contacts and the Ultimate Contacts database, and then researching each one and emailing the ones I resonated with the most. Also, the ones who seem to have good connections in the industry. It's the right way to do it, Alex, mate. And yeah, you're an annual member. You've got access to the database, or maybe you got it through First TV or Fast Track as well. It's another way to get that database. But yeah, that's good on you, man. 20 is a decent amount of emails to send out. You said you're sending more emails out this week. Keep going, dude. Definitely. Let's have a look. Sandra's dressed as an elf to greet the kids at the door. Sandra, that is dedication for you. I live in a 3rd floor apartment, so there is no chance I'm going to get any kids trick-or-treating tonight. But that is dedication for you. Without a doubt, you are giving those kids value, definitely. Right, we've got 6 minutes. 6 minutes to go. Basically, what I kind of want to know what people, what's your main stumbling block right now in your career, people? Like, do you think? Again, I'd love to know. I want to create more content over the next few weeks and months that's really tailored, because I can guess what people are struggling with, and obviously I get emails from actors every bloody day with things that they're struggling with. So, I feel I've got my finger on the pulse with it, so I can create content that's really going to, help and solve, some of those problems. But also I would love to know, what people are struggling with, just so I can create more stuff around it, definitely. Kate's been out with a 9-year-old. We've both had a sugar binge on the stash of sweets. Feel a bit sick now. Kate, you have used your 9-year-old to go and get free sweets. That's what you've done. You'll be pretending, going, "Oh no, it's for my son or my daughter or whatever." It's just for you. I'm the same though. I'm just as bad. I've got a real sweet tooth, and it's a problem. I'm the type of person who will sit there and eat Nutella out of the jar with a spoon. It's not good for anybody. Alex says feeling not good enough is something that, I think that's something that so many actors deal with, mate. And that goes back really to the identity work that I spoke about before. So many people, your identity really, ultimately, very briefly, your identity, who you believe you are. Okay, so it might not even be who you are, it's who you believe you are. You will always act in alignment with who you believe you are. And so many people, when it comes to their identity and who they believe they are as an actor, is, like I said before, they're trying to be an actor. They're inadequate for some reason, purely based on the fact that they've probably not been on TV yet, which is bullshit, because, like I say, we need to redefine what an actor is to you. And like I said before, for me, an actor is so many positive attributes that are nothing to do with appearing on a box in the corner of a room. Like I said before, for me, I am creative. I create my own work and my own content without anybody else's permission. I am not a quitter. I am resilient. I always, give a little bit more than people expect, or at least that's my intention anyway. And it's about literally listing positive attributes that you feel an actor is, and then going, right, this is who I need to believe I am in order, because if you don't believe in those things, in order to then actually sort of, take the action that would back up those identities, those attributes, you need to sort of, really resonate with those to go, actually, what, I am proactive. And you've shown that with the emails, you say, I'm proactive, thus the action you take is sending your emails. That action reaffirms your identity, which then reaffirms the action. You take more action. So it becomes really part of who you are. And then that builds esteem. It builds confidence. It's the things that you do when no one else is looking. If, for instance, you go that extra mile, when you're in the gym and you say to yourself, and I do this all the time, all right, I'm going to do 8 repetitions of this exercise. If I get to rep 8 and I know I've got 2 more left in me, I've got 2 choices at the moment. I identify the fact I go the extra mile, so I do those extra 2 reps, or I choose not to do them. No one else in that gym knows. I know. That's like a vote for me on my identity as someone who goes the extra mile, someone who gives a little bit more than other people expect. So it's about really figuring out what your identity is as an actor, because we have it wrong. 99% of actors have it wrong. I am an actor. I only identify as an actor when I'm working. And it's the most toxic identity you could possibly have as an actor, because it's just not what an actor is. You are not only an actor when you are working, because that's the thing that leads you into feeling that you are not good enough, or you don't feel confident enough. Because what is making you feel less good is you are not living up to the expectation you have of what an actor is. And when our expectations are not being met as human beings, we feel like shit. That's the way you can explain all suffering in the world, in your life, is that your expectation of reality is not what is happening. That's all it is. So it's also about not lowering those expectations, but just being okay with whatever happens, not staring at that scoreboard thinking it's going to win you the football match, kicking the ball instead. So we go really deep in Bulletproof Factor on that. If anyone wants to work on self-confidence, mindset, getting over limiting beliefs, annihilating them, Bulletproofactor.com. We're going to cover that a lot on that weekend at the end of November. Nick, mate, you're crushing it. I saw your post before. You're achieving an awful lot right now. You said doing my best to contact casting directors to tell them what I'm up to. Yeah, man. Honestly, you've had a good year, Nick. Honestly, there's not a lot of people I know who have had outcomes that you've had there, and there's still time to have more. Joe says my main stumbling block is shift work. got a great agent, but I need to be more proactive. Yeah, so Joe, again, that's something that I've literally just been working through with Matt, the high performance coach today for this program, is, getting people to understand that it's not what they do for work. It's not like how much you work or something like that in the day job you hate. It's not necessarily even, sort of a lot of people are like, oh, but like I like my sleep and I can't just have 6-7 hours sleep. I need 8 hours sleep. We're not telling people to get up early, go to bed late or anything like that. We're not telling people, they've got to ditch their day jobs right now. It's just really about focusing and prioritizing what it is you are doing when you are not at work. It's not, that's really, really it. And then going, right, okay, how many hours do I have? A lot of people's 9 till 5 really F's up their 5 till 9, what they could do in that 4 hours between 5 o'clock and 9 o'clock. Or if you've got kids and you've got to make tea and all that sort of stuff, what you could do between, once the kids are in bed, maybe, I don't know, 7 and 11 o'clock or something like that. A lot of people end up, working a job that they hate or doing shifts that they don't want to do. So the last thing they want to do when they get home is actually take action on the thing they really want. It's a lot easier to sit and watch Netflix than it is to put the work in to get on Netflix. Okay, and a lot of things, can be done to make you more productive in those hours when you are not doing those shifts, Joe. And that is really protecting your sleep. So sort of like, not. This was tempting for me. I would come home from a shift at work in my day job 11 years ago when I was so unhappy in my day job. And I would always want to stay up as late as I possibly could to maximize my time and enjoyment away from that day job. I'm like, oh, well, I'm just going to stay up till 2 o'clock in the morning because I want to watch these films. I want to do this because tomorrow I'm in work and I hate it. As opposed to thinking, well, hang on a minute. Like, if I actually got to bed at a reasonable time, really protected my sleep, what I did, equally between 5 a.m. and 9 a.m. before I got to work, and then between 5 p.m. and 9 p.m., that was a thing that would get me out of that job eventually. And it's what did happen. But unless you're really fueling your body well, you're hydrating, you'll go to bed at regular times. If you go to bed at 9 o'clock, you can get up at 5 a.m. It's 8 hours sleep. You'll absolutely survive. A lot of people don't want to do it. But before your 9 o'clock job, you've got 4 hours there to get shit done. It is possible, but you've really got to be intentional. To really schedule in the things that will move the needle in your career when you are not at work. It's very easy, and I did it myself, to blame my work for everything because I hated it. Honestly, I was working for £5.75 an hour in a toy shop, Joe. I was not having a good time. Alex thinks he had it bad when he worked at River Island in the Trafford Centre. Mate, you should try working for Game. It was way worse. But I had to be really disciplined about what it was that I was doing when I was not at work. And like you said there, you've got to be more proactive, Joe. That's it. You have to go, right, how can I be more proactive? What exactly do I want to achieve next? And then what action is then going to be required, to get that, get that outcome, or put myself in a chance of achieving that outcome. Give myself a chance of achieving that outcome. And again, a lot of it comes down to identity work. Who you believe you are will really dictate your actions. If you're telling yourself you're lazy, you're going to act in alignment with that. You are going to act lazy. If you're telling yourself, you're a procrastinator, you're going to procrastinate. Look at what you're identifying as. It's really, really important in all areas of life. Let's have a look. Joseph, thank you for being here, mate. Appreciate you tuning in. Nick says thanks. Yeah, Nick, honestly, mate, I said you've done really well this year. Again, it's about turning around. Sometimes we can feel as humans and actors that we've not really achieved very much because, again, we've not got the outcome that we set out for. We've not landed that starring role in TV or whatever. We end up, if we're not careful, living sort of between where we are, because we're not fully present, so we're not really appreciating where we are. We're looking to that horizon of that outcome, that thing we want to get. And what we end up doing, we end up sort of living in the gap between where we are and where we want to be, never really living. So sometimes, and particularly around this time of year, just turn around and go, listen, where was I in January? The world was mental in January. Like, the whole of last year was crazy. I just had the dreaded illness at Christmas, last year. I was really recovering sort of health-wise. I wasn't in a great place. To turn around now and go, well, actually, you know what? Look how far I've come, even with, haven't landed that starring role on TV yet. Turn around, just have a look at where you were 10 months ago, and you will have achieved a lot of little things, and those little things will eventually compound into big things, but you can't stop or dwell, if those big things haven't appeared yet. It really is about continuous output. Alex says, there's a great woman on TikTok who says that it's about the feeling you get from the outcome. If you keep chasing the actual outcome, then when it's over, you'll be chasing it again. So it's about the feeling you get from the outcome rather than the outcome. Someone said, I saw somebody with a really amazing car. And it was like, what's the best? I can't remember what it was. Was it a Bugatti or something like that? I was like, someone asked him anyway, what's the best thing about owning that car? And he said the best thing was wanting the car. Because now I've got it, I just drive it. So the best thing was wanting the car. So it's again that cliched but very, very true saying of the journey is far more enjoyable than the destination a lot of times. Doesn't mean you don't want to get to that destination eventually and then you want to fly to another destination. Of course, that's part of it, but you very often won't get to the destination while you're staring at a map. I can't stare at New York and get there. I've got to go book a ticket, get on a plane, get to the airport, go through security, get on the plane, land, go through immigration when you get there. Like, I have a lot of action to take before I get there. I can't just stare at a map and appear in New York. I'm not Harry Potter. I wish I was. I'd love that. A little bit of transportation, Wingardium Leviosa, and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, we've got to stop staring at the outcome, and we've got to start ultimately focusing on the action that we're taking. But thank you, folks. It means the world that you've been here tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. Honestly, it really means the world. I'm going to be back next Monday for another free Acts on This Live, on this Facebook page, or if you're watching on Twitter or LinkedIn, or you're listening on the audio experience, if you come to facebook.com/Acts on This TV, like the page, turn on notifications, you'll be notified every time I go live. And if you've resonated with some of the stuff that I've spoken about tonight, please come and try out the main community, actsonthis.tv. If you're an actor and you want to get further, way faster in your acting career by actually speaking to, on a weekly basis, the biggest casting directors, literally live on Zoom, agents, directors, writers, producers, actors who have achieved what you want to achieve, these people can help you ultimately take your career way further, way faster. For basically pretty much what it costs you to get a large Starbucks a week, or less if you get a yearly membership to actsonthis.tv. If you want to try out the membership for a week for just £1, go to actsonthis.tv/trial. That will give you 60 minutes to get a £1 trial that will then be valid for an entire week, 7 full days. No obligation to carry on your membership, but I promise you, when you dive into the members area, so many people just tweet me straight away going, oh my God, why did I not know about this? Why did I not sign up to this years ago? So come and get involved, honestly. If there's anything I can do for you, tweet me at actsonthistv, at Ross A. Grants. Leave a comment here. We just want to give you guys as much value as possible to just help you have the strongest finish to 2022. Like I say, it is not over yet. There is so much time left, to get a win in, to get things done in this industry. So keep moving forward. Cheryl, good evening. Hope you are well. But thanks, folks. Really appreciate it. Definitely. Sandra says, thanks. Great inspiration. Hope I'll be getting more into Acts on this. Yeah, absolutely, Sandra. Whenever you feel ready, come and get back involved in the lives and stuff like that. We've got so much stuff on the way. I'd say literally every week you guys will get a live Zoom call with a top industry guest or a pre-recorded deep dive podcast. Equally, with an industry guest. So to finish, for those who missed this at the beginning, our last guest was Downton Abbey casting director last week, Jill Trevellick. I'll play you a little mashup of what you missed. If you want to get access to the full 90-minute chat, go to actsonthis.tv, get a membership, and you're not going to get access to this, but you can see us on Thursday night with Julie on that live call. Aisha Bywater's a BAFTA-winning casting director in a couple of weeks. Phil Barantini, the director I mentioned before. So many guests coming up. And you'll get, I forgot about this, you'll get to join our Christmas cocktails and conversation evening on Zoom as well. Always gets a bit leery. That's one that we don't record. We record all the other Zooms. We will never record the Christmas party. That's one that is basically, Petch does his big quiz. You can win Amazon gift cards on that. We give away hundreds of pounds worth of Amazon gift cards, actually, but we all have a little drink, a cocktail. It's not compulsory. You can come and have a virgin cocktail if you want. But it did end up one year about 3 o'clock in the morning doing karaoke to Meatloaf on Zoom. Bizarre. Right, folks, love to you all. Have an amazing week. Keep hustling. Get out there. Ask for what you want. Expect good things to happen. And remember, the year right now is not over. There's still so much to play for. So we'll leave you with Jill's mashup, and I'll hopefully see you Thursday night with Julie Hesmondhouse. Until then, lots of love. Bye for now. I'm so happy to have her back. Her credits include The Mighty Downton Abbey, Save Me, The Lazarus Project, Hillsborough Drama, Anne, and upcoming ITV Keeley Hawes and Matthew McFadden drama Stonehouse. It's casting director Jill Trevellick in the house. Edited highlights. It's probably quite hard, but 3 or 4 minutes on who Jill Trevellick is, basically.
I've been a casting director for a long time. It's probably about 25 years.
I think you've got nearly 100 like quality, really big credits on IMDb, Jill. Like you've cast some absolutely massive stuff.
I think without things like Downton Abbey, you probably wouldn't have necessarily had the crown.
I don't even know the answer to this question. Who you work with in terms of associates and assistants? Do you work regularly with the same people, or how does how does that work? Could you take us through like step by step, like what you actually do to from getting a script to actually bringing people in the room or getting them to tape?
I put in what I thought were, the kind of parameters on the spotlight, and up came 17,000 suggestions.
If you were an actor right now, knowing Jill Trevellick really well, how would you get on your casting radar?
For actors on Spotlight who don't have a professional show reel, what footage should they really be doing there?
You just got to find something that suits you, or write something, or find a piece that is useful, really, and appropriate, and you think will engage people, and is short.
We're often told that it's useful for us to know what our sort of main casting types might be.
Just try out a few different scenarios, different roles, and then have a look, see what you think, maybe get people you trust to watch, and just try and put together a show reel which you think is as diverse as possible, I would suggest. I've sometimes met actors or seen them in something and thought about them 3 years later and brought them in for a role. Every performance you give that's good, every meeting you go to, every audition you go to, it's all kind of, money in the bank, as it were, really.